The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like their match?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Hi, guys. What's up? Welcome into a Thursday's episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault, Todd Brommelkamp in Iowa will be by here in a couple of minutes. Talk a bit about the Big Ten in Iowa. Are they a sleeper in the Big Ten? Should we be talking more about Iowa? We'll get to that later in the program. Because nobody wants to know. Keep Iowa quiet. It's under the radar play. We'll get to that later in a little while. You guys are watching us live on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being here in the chat at Boston versus the Book, Twitter as well at Boston versus the Book. We're replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159 each and every night, late night. If you guys are watching that or listening, thank you. Appreciate you guys being here. Come on over into the live chat tomorrow on a Roll Call Friday because, well, more on that in a second as to where we're going to be. We're not going to actually be in Vegas tomorrow, but we'll be in Nevada for a very special event. We'll talk about more in a little bit. How are you, sir? Good to see you on a Thursday.
Good. We got a light menu, light card today. Not a lot of things happening. Trying to reach and figure out what we're going to talk about, different things, putting together a rundown and a show without interruptions with commercials and things like that. It's a little bit difficult. So, our tardiness, apologize. Let you know right off the bat, 11:30-ish. We stayed within the time limit. So everybody relax with that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that business out of the way. It's hot outside.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Really?
Oh, doesn't it feel like it's stickier though than usual?
I don't know. It's been beautiful in the morning.
First thing in the morning
on my deck, 85 degrees, grab the coffee. I've been in love with this morning. I mean, then you get to about 1 o'clock and I feel like Mother Nature just goes to the thermostat and goes, let's just turn this up a bit. All of a sudden it's 105 and you're like, whoa, okay. This is brutal. So it is more humid than normal, but nothing like I was in New England though. In New England was wow. Different, very, very different. Tomorrow, different place for the show, live show, Legends Bay Casino in Sparks, Nevada, happening tomorrow, 2:30 Pacific time, 5:30 Eastern time start. Mark it down. It's Roll Call Friday after dark, kind of at dusk, because it's still light outside till like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So it's not really after dark, but it'll be a later start than normal. Okay, 2:30 Legends Bay Casino, Sparks,
drive time,
Nevada.
That's what they call drive time show, right?
Correct. Drive time really is 3 to 6, but technically it's inside of drive time. It's more of like an early evening show.
Okay.
From there. If you're coming over, okay, tell us. We hope to see you. We got guys over there. It's going to be a lot of fun to be there, signing people up with the Brigade Proxy Service and just talking to Derek Stevens. And I mean, who knows who stops by? Benson's guaranteed, but maybe Mike Palm, maybe others. Who knows who they're going to have in person tomorrow. Legends Bay, Sparks, Nevada. Reno adjacency. My first time to Sparks. I've been to Reno, never been to Sparks. So should be fun to get on over there.
Yeah.
We're going to Tahoe.
I want to thank Leighton off the top for tweeting that this morning and putting that picture out there. We're not going to that beach.
I told you when I was reading it, I said, oh, there's the nude beach. It's in Reno.
I told you I lived in Curacao, 97, 98, right across the street. Mambo Beach was a topless beach. And you get the good with the bad. All right.
Yeah, some people I want to pay to put their clothes back on.
Please.
Cover up. Please.
Everybody got very comfortable. And I will never forget the first time I went over there. I'm guessing she was about 70. And she was on a chase lounge like this. And when she got up, she had to pick him up in her arms and get like this. And I went, I got to go back to work. I went to the guy I was with. I was like, we got to go back to the office, man. I didn't need to see that.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I was good. But
yeah,
I'm excited. I mean, we got to get up. It'll be dark when we get up to go.
Yeah, dark. It's going to be
middle of the night. Flight ever because it was the cheapest flight, which we'll talk about flights being cheap and things happening in the flight industry. 2 times in 1 week for me for traveling.
That's a lot. To the airport 2 times in 1 week it's a lot.
And I went to the airport to meet the doctor.
So 3 times.
The other day. Was that yesterday or the day before?
Tuesday. Yeah. It was the day before.
Yeah, and I missed him. He had to go through security. So I've been to the airport. If you're coming to town, I'll pick you up at the airport. I know the way. All the ins and outs. Really good.
So our guy Todd Brommelkamp from KGYM in Cedar Rapids is going to join us here in about 10 minutes. So
I wish I was picking him up at the airport in a month.
He'll be back August 22nd, 23rd. I'm assuming he'll be around and maybe coming down. Who knows? We'll see how if the Iowa folks make it. We are already start rest of the cakes. No, guys, they came in already so we're going to rep all Iowa media people will come in and be part of the brigade proxy service. It'll be great. Just go ahead. Iowa it out. So we'll do that coming in about 10 minutes. This happened after we got off the air yesterday, but I'm curious. So Salt Lake City will host the 2034 games, winter games. Are you interested in going to this in 10 years? Because we're probably still going to be here because our kids are going to be 18. So they're going to be graduating. Your daughter and my daughter will be graduating high school in 2034.
No is a huge favorite. I'm just putting it out there right now. I don't know. Might be fun to go watch a hockey game or something like.
Might be fun. You would love that. You kidding me?
Probably would. I don't know if anyone else will, but
I've done the bobsled track. I've actually been in a bobsled going down the track that they use.
You have?
Yeah, I bobsledded in Salt Lake City from the last time they had the Olympics. You can go up there and you could do bobsled runs. So back before COVID killed a lot of the media press stuff for Let's Talk Wheels, I used to get brought to all the launch events for Chevy, Hyundai, and Nissan. And one of the events for Nissan was up to Salt Lake City, and they put us in bobsleds. And we had a driver, and there was 4 of us. It was a 4-man bobsled. We went down, got the G-forces going about 85 miles per hour on ice. It's wild to be in a bobsled.
I hope my heart is in the right condition to take that. I think that might be fun. I've always thought about that.
Would I lose or skeleton? I don't know, man. After doing the bobsled and realizing how fast you go and how little control you actually have.
Don't think so, bro.
You're going 85 on ice. Like you're just like, wee. And it's the G-forces are cool. I don't know.
Did you ever have a major sled riding
accident?
Snafu where you either hit a tree or a bush or something? Like I hit a tree going down a side of a hill.
Ouch.
Like that was all ice. And we thought that people were broken. Like was it me and my brother? Yeah, it hurt a lot. We got up and walked away, but I don't know if we were right. I don't think I could do to lose your skeleton. No way.
I could do the bobsled. The bobsled was fun. If you're not driving, it's a lot of pressure on the driver. I mean, like we had a legitimate guy who was an Olympic driver.
Yeah, like there's no chance I'm getting in that thing without an Olympic driver.
Oh yeah, you got to know what you're doing 100%. Like it's, oh gosh, a friend hit a brick house, broke both his legs. Yep.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like this is sled riding accidents are legendary. Like
wow,
you have stories.
Look at Ross. He went to Athens in 2004 for the Olympic Games. That's cool.
How about that? So are you winter or summer?
Both, but I like summer more than winter. But I think there's more. I think we dominate the summer in so many of those categories that I actually like the winter games because they're more competitive. Like Ask
the boys and girls in the chat right now.
You want to poll?
Winter or summer for Olympics? Olympic games.
Poll or just writing?
Yeah, give them a poll. Give them something to vote for. We'll hit them with something early. Get them involved in the show because it's not Roll Call Friday, which is tomorrow, which we'll ask you. Are we going to be able to see the chat tomorrow? Are we going to?
I don't know. I don't think so because you'll be able to see it on your phone. But we got E back here in Vegas.
Okay,
when you go up there, so it's going to be
a little. Wins this poll?
Summer.
You think more people vote summer?
Yeah. I think more people. I mean, it's just how we are. People in America, we're better at it. We dominate the summer games. We win everything. Winter games, different story.
I know, but like the skiing is great. Like I am entertained by the skiing.
But like the biathlon, you watch that?
I do.
when they're skating, they're not skiing, but ski skating, and they're shooting guns. The biathlon, they get target practice and stuff. I mean, I watch it all just because, but I don't know. The Olympics are just such a like, what do you make of the Olympic Games from a book perspective? Does anybody bet it?
No.
No one bets it?
No.
How do you make numbers?
It's fun trying to make a USA versus South Sudan basketball game.
It was 40 and they almost lost.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's complete. There ain't no model for that. There's just a lot of like
guesswork.
What do you think? 38? I don't know. 46? They'll take that. Nope. All right, make it 40. See what happens. The basketball, the team sports are really the only thing that's anything close to what you normally do.
Okay.
The individual sports, I mean, I don't know how to make odds for track and field. We're going to do the 4x100 relay. Like, no, we're not. It's over in 12 seconds. Like, or, no. I'm Hussein Bolt minus 8,000.
We're not allowed to make those jokes, but
12 seconds?
Some things are over in 12 seconds.
Well, if it's over in 12 seconds, you got to get it fixed. It's not supposed to be 12 seconds. I'm just saying, as you get older, it gets shorter. As you get older, you slow it down, make it last. Keith Sweat had a song, Make It Last Forever. I didn't know what it meant when I was singing it in high school. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know. It's a classic.
The over 39.5 gold medals.
Really?
I don't know what. Sure. Good job.
1 star.
Let's take it. Good luck to you. I don't know. I have no idea. Like
pure patriot.
All there is to bet baseball right now because there's no WNBA. I'm not betting golf because it's 3M. Like it is struggle bus time right now for me in a big way.
Yeah.
And like people are like, bet the Olympics. I'm like, how? I don't know anything. Like what I don't know any part of any sport. Like what am I betting equestrian? Am I betting track and field? Like what am I betting? I don't know anything about these players, sports. Like I did track and field. I know the fundamentals, but how to handicap it, I have no idea. No idea.
Did you do field events in track and field or were you running?
Yep. I was javelin and high jump. And triple jump too. I did javelin, triple jump, high jump. That's what I did.
You did triple jump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ever? I mean, so obviously you've done it, so you've seen it in person. But
like
in person, that is really like interesting to watch the triple jump. How you got to like
the Olympic side of it. It is like in high school, it's kind of weird looking, but like the Olympic side is crazy. Like watching how far the guys jump is ridiculous.
Right?
They have springs in their legs. It's like doing, doing. It's like, how the hell do you do that? Like triple jump is fun. I was much better at long jump than I was triple jump. And I was better. I was okay at high jump, but I was a 400-meter hurdler and I was a 200-meter hurdler.
Oh, I love the hurdles.
It sucks. That race is the worst.
See, I loved it.
The 400-meter hurdles loved?
No. The shorter one.
Oh, 200's fine. 200's fun. Yeah. But I mean, my God, I cannot tell you the pain of those last 2 hurdles. You want to throw up every time. It's the absolute worst. I wish I did. I mean, pole vault was something, Sebastian, where I tried it. I wasn't good at it. I tried it. They wanted me to do pole vault. I wasn't good at it. I couldn't get myself to be, because I could run fast and I could jump high. So they thought, you're a pole vaulter. I just wasn't good at it. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to do.
It's a lot of form.
Yeah. And
pole vault is a lot of form. And
I'm too long. I'm too long. Like pole vaulters need to be little people, little guys, because it's more like a gymnast thing. If you're long, I was 6 feet tall. So I just constantly hit stuff when I was on the way up. I'd smack the bar off constantly. So I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at it. Well, offense. Iowa's offense. Should we talk about Iowa's offense? Are they going to get excited?
Media days.
Iowa offense. We're going to go to, was he the first brigade member in the media? He might have been.
He's an OG.
I think Brommelkamp is.
He's an OG.
I think Brommelkamp was the first official BVB media member on us. Oh, wow. That's a new one. I didn't do that first before. What's up, Todd? How are you?
I was not expecting to come on and talk about your length today. So caught me a little off guard.
For 9 seconds. How funny is this? You're wearing a BVB hat. I'm wearing an Iowa hat. Dave's wearing an Iowa hat. We're all twisted and turned. How are things? How's the summer? I know Big Ten Media Days, it's the unofficial start of the college football season when these things finally get going. You get the coaches poll, the preseason poll, all that nonsense gets rolling. What's the feeling on the ground in Iowa Hawkeye land?
I think there's optimism. They brought in a new offensive coordinator, and they can't possibly be any worse than they were the last 2 years. I was just sitting here. I was looking at some statistics, getting ready to do the segment, and I mean it's laughable. They were dead last year, right? They averaged 15.4 points a game. Ooh. See if how do they win games? Defensively, they gave up 14.3 points. That's Iowa football.
Whew, that's Iowa football.
15-14 final. Under 32 points. Oh yeah.
There you go. Under. We'll see whether that's the case this year or not.
Yeah, it was easy to set the numbers for Iowa football games.
31.5 every week.
It was way easier than setting numbers for Olympics. But before we get a little deeper into the football stuff, Todd, are you a summer Olympic guy or a winter Olympic guy or Olympic guy at all?
I was listening to you guys, and Matt is absolutely right. Summer Olympics because we're better at it.
Okay. Were you
Winter Olympics?
Did you do any track or
Dave?
Fair. I mean, I knew the answer to the question. It's for the people. For the people. I mean, I know that. Go ahead. Tell them.
I played baseball. That was it. They didn't want me anywhere near the other teams.
That's tremendous. Oh my. Where'd you grow up? Did you grow up in Iowa?
Yeah, I grew up about an hour east of here.
So you're used to the Midwest summers. You're used to the
absolutely.
Humidity.
Oh yeah, the humidity and yep.
Yeah, all that fun stuff of being in polyester pants playing baseball when it's 85 and 85, 85% humidity, 85%.
Now they look like slow pitch softball players. I was at the state tournament the other day. It was about 2 miles from my house, and they got baggy pants and loose fitting. Yeah, they look like a slow pitch softball team now. But yeah, we wore the old school uniforms. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Do you coach soccer? I didn't know you're the best soccer coach around. Do you coach soccer?
I had to coach my kids' team a couple years ago, and I know nothing about soccer. Bet the under. Bet the under. Park the bus, right? I got some of the phraseology down, but no. Somebody must listen to the show.
Sure, good.
Good for them. Yeah,
that's good. All right. This has been a very interesting week because of the Big Ten football media days. What's the Iowa fan reaction to the duck? A big old rubber ducky from Oregon sitting in the middle of the river in Indianapolis announcing Oregon's presence in the conference.
I heard Dan Lanning say today that he wants to bring that thing on the road everywhere they go in the Big Ten, and they better not bring that thing to Iowa City and put it in the Iowa River because God knows what type of chemicals and farm runoff is in there. It'll permanently damage the thing. But they certainly announced their presence coming into the Big Ten in a very unique way this week in Indianapolis.
I just got a text from a mutual friend of ours. I call him Wrong Side Robbie. You know him as Robbie from Bet Rivers, but he said he met you at the Wild Rose Casino.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that possible?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Right there.
Oh.
Wild Rose Casino. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that in the neighborhood?
Yeah, it's over by my hometown, about an hour and so east of here.
Yeah. Which one though? Aren't there 3 Wild Roses in Iowa?
There is. Yeah, I am at the one in eastern Iowa here. The other 2 are kind of in central Iowa.
Do they have a sports book?
Emmitsburg? Yeah. Oh yeah, they got a great sports book.
Yeah.
It's sponsored by another book, so I don't want to make Robbie mad. Right, I'm actually we're doing a Bet Rivers contest here coming up for the Olympics. Actually, so
wow, look at that.
Well, that's
there
good.
Go, Robbie.
Do they have a place for us to do the show? Like, can we come to Wild Rose and get hooked up and do a show there? And you be kind of our host? Will that work?
I can find you room to do the show anywhere.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, so now we can go to Iowa. I have never been to Iowa. Should I come to Iowa for a football
That's
game?
not true. That is not true. You've talked about going to Iowa before. You told the story about the indoor plumbing.
I did. That's right. I was 7, and I saw
Yeah.
pigs and cows and everything for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Water went, and we stayed less than 48 hours. We landed.
Okay, yeah.
Everything went bad. I saw a pig farm. I kept asking my mom, "Why are we here?" And we went back home.
Todd, can you please confirm that there are more pigs than people in Iowa to Dave? He doesn't believe me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's 3 or 4 times as many pigs, something like that.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, it is a true fact.
It's true fact. Dave, you're making that up. I'm not making that up. It's absolutely true. And tell them about the butter cow. The butter cow actually does exist.
The butter cow actually exists. The state fair is coming up in about 3 weeks or so, and there's always a butter cow sculpture, and then they do some other sculpture. Last year it was Caitlin Clark. Go figure, right?
Yeah. Well, it was Michael Jackson a couple of years ago too. I remember with Michael Jackson. There's always some famous person that they wind up having a sculpture of.
Oh my goodness. How's the summer been as far as the WNBA and the Caitlin Clark things? I mean, because
thank God for the WNBA this summer. Content. There are so many. I'll pay attention to the Fever because Caitlin Clark, and then the Aces have a couple Iowa players, and Kate Martin and Gustafson, and Kia Stokes is from here in Cedar Rapids. So I'll pay attention, but the folks around here are all in on the Indiana Fever. You cannot go out publicly. You cannot go out publicly without seeing somebody wearing a Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever 22 jersey or a sweater or a T-shirt or anything like that. I never thought I would see the day where people were walking around decked out in WNBA gear like it was no big deal. And I don't mean that in any bad way, but it is insane to see how far that league came in like 2 months.
Here's Adam. I'm surprised at how many folks around Eastern Iowa I know that bought the WNBA TV package.
Yeah. It was $15 or something like. It's not.
Yeah, but it's still $15 they didn't get last year. Right. So from a whole half of a state that's now buying to watch that. So that's significant in terms of growth. We know the Caitlin Clark jersey sold out really fast. So what was the feeling about Caitlin Clark not being on the Olympic team? How much did you feel from your audience on that topic?
I think there were some people here that were disappointed, and they were looking at it as, how can you not put her on the team, and how many USA jerseys would you have sold with her name and number on it, and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, she's going to be in the Olympics. Her and Angel Reese talked about that at the WNBA All-Star game recently, and people were upset about it, but I think they've moved on by now. But there was a lot of interest in the All-Star game when the WNBA All-Stars beat the Olympic team. That's for sure.
What's left of Iowa women's basketball? Because that was such a national thing. They were drawing numbers at home, on the road, everywhere they went. It was rock star status. Is anybody going to go to the games now? after
Lisa Bluter too.
Lisa retired. Her longtime assistant Jan Jensen took over. They went into the transfer portal and brought in a girl by the name of Lucy Olson, who was at Villanova last year, who was the number 3 scorer in the country, behind I think only Clark and I can't remember who else was ahead of her, maybe Juju Watkins. But so they went into the transfer portal. They brought in Caitlin Clark 2.0. She doesn't want to be compared to her, and nobody's Caitlin Clark, but they did go out and get a scorer to put in the lineup, and they've got some good bigs. I think making the tournament next year will be a good step for them, but they're certainly rebuilding.
Okay. All right. Let's get to Iowa.
Yes.
You have a team that can play defense. We know this. They are picked fifth out of 18 teams. That's not bad. I call them 8-4 Ferrets. How many wins do you see for this Hawkeye team? Because their schedule is not that bad, Todd. It's not that tough.
7.5 is the number, right?
Yeah.
I would say, you're probably looking at an 8-win team here.
There's your Iowa schedule on the screen right now. They play at Ohio State, which is never fun. They play at UCLA. Nebraska's at home. Washington's at home. I mean, they play Iowa State at home. I mean, they've got, yes, a couple of difficult road trips, but they also have some very winnable home games, do they not?
Yeah, the home schedule is really favorable for them, and it's going to come down to if you look at the schedule, they got a bye week early on, and they got a bye week late, and then there's a chunk of 6 games where they play October and early November without any time off, and that's probably going to be ultimately what decides the season for them, is how well they play in that 6-game stretch in between the bye weeks.
I mean, you're close enough, and you've been in a division with Nebraska. That's another team that's getting a lot of buzz around these circles and these parts and these streets and Big Ten season wins and all this other stuff. What are you hearing about Nebraska where you're at?
I talk on the show all the time about you got to kick them while they're down, because they're not going to stay down forever. And I am reasonably optimistic that maybe this is the year that Nebraska actually is back and shows some signs of life. I was listening to what Matt Rule had to say the other day.
Yeah.
And, the key there, the caveat there, is they're going to try to win with a true freshman quarterback, I think, in Raiola. And that's easier said than done in the Big Ten.
I think it's going to be wild to see the quarterback play for both Nebraska and Iowa. Who do you expect to have better quarterback play this year?
That's a loaded question. I'll say Iowa, because they've got the veteran guy. I mean, you're talking Nebraska's going to start a true freshman. Iowa's going to start a guy that's been around the block before. But the one thing about Cade McNamara is, ever since he transferred to Iowa from Michigan a year and a half ago, he's never been 100% healthy. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't healthy last year, and then he got knocked out after 5 games, and we got the Deacon Hill experience here in Eastern Iowa, which was not pleasant. So McNamara says he's 100% healthy, first time in a long time. We'll see Media Day in Iowa City's coming up on August 9th, and we'll get a good look at him there. But he's a kid who's, when he's healthy, he's a pretty good quarterback. That being said, J.J. McCarthy beat him out at Michigan, so there was a reason for him to go into the transfer portal. And they've got a backup quarterback out of the transfer portal in Brendan Sullivan, who was at Northwestern. So they've got a backup quarterback that has Big Ten starting experience if they need to turn to him this year. So I think there's reason for optimism. And then you've got the new offensive coordinator, which really is the huge story going into the 2024 season.
All right, swing it over to baseball real quick, because I know you're a baseball guy too. And the story of the season is Paul Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates, but we'll get to the Cubs in a second. Mitch Keller from right there, Iowa
Cedar
kid,
Rapids, Iowa.
right? Like how
Cedar Rapids
good is he?
Xavier High School.
Tell him. And not quite an all-star, but came out, pitched a great game Monday again. Excited about my Pirates? Like, do you think that they can get into the dance a little bit? What do you think, Todd?
I think there's meaningful baseball to be played in Pittsburgh over the final couple months of the season, right? That's all you want. You and I were talking on the phone the other day. You got Skeens, you got Mitch Keller, you got Jones if he comes back healthy.
Look out.
And if you're in the front office, you got how many days until the trade deadline? Go out and make that team better. Give your fans a reason to buy tickets. Watch them on TV. I personally, and I've talked about this on the show before, I don't like the expanded wild card because it disincentivizes teams from trying to win the division.
Right.
I think what you've got is just a bunch of teams that are just trying to be the Diamondbacks, because you saw the Diamondbacks, they eked in last year, basically because they dominated the Cubs. They were 6-1 against the Cubs last year and barely got in, and they get all the way to the World Series. So what's the incentive to go out and make deals where you trade top prospects to try to win your division when you can win 86 games and get a wild card? So
the Cubs, the Cubs are sellers. Like 2 weeks ago, they were going to be buyers, right? Well, wait, do you think there's a chance they make a move, or are they shipping Bellinger or somebody else?
They're selling.
They should sell. The question is, who's buying? Who's buying what they have on the roster? I think the most attractive piece they probably have is a guy that you're familiar with as a Pirates fan, is Jamison Tyon, who's been pretty good. You know, the market for you're always looking for starting pitching. at the trade deadline. So I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody come in and try to pry him from the Cubs. Bellinger's hurt right now. That's going to complicate things. Horner, Happ. They've got a lot of guys that if they want to move on from them, it's a matter of trying to find the right dance partner,
Todd, we talked about this story a bit yesterday, but given where you are and how centralized Iowa sports is to the region, it's not just football. It's a big football town, obviously. Basketball, both men's and women's, but wrestling is tremendous. Baseball is tremendous. I mean, this is a university that gets support for everything. I don't know how much waves people have realized this, but do you have any thoughts on football expanding to 105 scholarships? That baseball goes to a full 34, 25 for women's softball? What's the Iowa fan reaction to the expansion on the scholarship level?
I think that it's not just Iowa. I think there's probably, a lot of schools, 80% of schools that are probably a little bit nervous about it. It's the money has changed everything. I mean, we've seen college sports explode in the last 30, 40 years, right? And it's the haves are still going to be the haves and the have-nots are still going to be the have-nots. And, you can go out there and try to compete with the Ohio States and the Oregons, but Iowa's never going to have NIL money like Oregon. 105 roster spots. I worry about what that does to the walk-ons at places like Iowa.
What about Northern Iowa?
And FCS schools like Northern Iowa, absolutely, which has a tremendous track record of being able to come in and take guys that maybe there wasn't room at Iowa or Iowa State or Wisconsin, and they get them to come to Cedar Falls. I think the FCS schools should really be concerned about it. So is it great for college athletics? Probably not, but I don't think we're looking back anytime soon. So it'll be interesting to see the Olympic sports, increasing the number of scholarships in baseball and everything. I'm not sure whether that'll help a northern school like Iowa or not, but we'll find out.
All right, sir. Last one for me, because I know, you're getting ready to go away and take some days off and just and decompress. What does someone, or where does someone go from Iowa on vacation? If you're going to go away and get away from everything, where's your happy place?
You got room on the couch at Casa de Chirapan?
It's hot as hell here, but I could use you to go drive around and pick people up like last year.
Are Aaron and the folks at Circa listening right now? You guys can welcome me out there. Yeah, comp the room. You can, and Matt knows this from having been in Des Moines. But the nice thing about Iowa is we may not have a whole lot here. It's best kept secret, by the way. This is not a bad place to live. Don't tell everybody that, because we don't want everybody coming here and taking advantage of all the cheap stuff that we have here. Matt knows this. You can head about 5 hours in any direction in Iowa and be somewhere interesting. Yeah. So in our perspective, we're going north to Minnesota, and we're spending some time on the lake.
Oh, so, which one? There's 10,000 of them.
There are 10,000 lakes. I can't even remember the name of the place. It's up by, it's north. It's north of the Twin Cities. It's like almost 7 hours away from here. So
yeah, it is crazy though. He's right about that, because you can go like south to Kansas City, you can go east to Chicago, you can go west to Denver. There's just a lot of places you can go depending on where you are in Iowa. Before we let you go on this, just the overall state of the sports betting industry in Iowa through your angle. You're on the broadcasting side, so you work with a lot of the sports books.
Yep.
I was on the Omaha side, so I knew a lot about Cedar Council Bluffs, and then I spent a lot of time obviously in Des Moines, so we were going up and down all throughout the state, in Cedar Rapids, Cedar Falls, and whatnot. What's it been like? Is it different than when it launched?
I think you started to see the promos and stuff like that, the offers, the bonuses, they've curtailed. You're starting to see a little bit of shrinkage. You have pretty good contacts that are in the industry here in Iowa. And I think you see what you see everywhere else, which is DraftKings and FanDuel are kind of the two big dogs. And then you've got, places like Rivers and Circa and Caesars that are just trying to carve out their niche at 3, 4, 5. You're starting to see, we're industry-wide, you're seeing consolidation. And, it's a matter of whether or not you're going to be comfortable. They're all making money. It's just, are they making enough money to justify still being around. But I would say it's very healthy, and we're.
Did the football betting story piss off people? I mean,
just go away.
How do people feel about
happened to that?
Yeah, to all the football players who lost eligibility and how that story is unfolded. I mean, we followed it from afar, but you're right there. How did that sour people at all on sports betting?
Initially, yes, because the mob was out with the pitchforks and the torches, and here we, the temperance movement, as I like to say. And then the more the facts came out that this was sort of a rogue agent that was doing his own thing, and that sort of turned the narrative on it. So I don't think it necessarily hurt the industry as much as it may have initially, because once people realized, well, it wasn't a huge problem to begin with, and B, somebody was fishing around for something, doing things that and this is all going to get solved in court, because there's tons of lawsuits and the geofencing, and they did it without a warrant. And just because you look on a map and you see blue dots somewhere in a building, that they keep saying there's no public access to that building, but there are times where some people like me are in that building. I'm not a university employee. I'm not an athlete, but I'm in there. So it's a bizarre situation. And I knew something was weird about it, because everybody kept saying, why is it only Iowa? Why aren't you seeing this elsewhere? And I think we'd all be naive to think that it's not going on elsewhere, that there aren't college kids doing it. But the only reason that it came to light was because one guy in the Department of Criminal Investigation got a bug up his ass and decided that he was going to go on a fishing expedition because he wanted to try to score brownie points with the boss. And that's basically, from everything that I understand about it, that's basically what it was. They told him to stop. They told him to stop, and he kept going. I don't think he cared. I don't think Iowa State, I think he was just looking to make his mark.
He wasn't a Cyclone fan, though, right? I mean, he didn't have any tie.
Well, if he was a Cyclone fan, he did a really terrible job, because look how hard they got hit last year.
Right.
They lost Deckers. They lost Brock. They lost some really key players. Iowa, a backup kicker and everything. Iowa State was the one that really got hurt last year and wound up having a decent season. So, again, it was almost, you look back at it now, I don't want to say it's a blessing in disguise, but Rocco Becht is a pretty good quarterback at Iowa State. Yeah, would he have seen the field if Hunter Deckers was the starter last year? So it kind of allowed Matt Campbell to turn the page to a younger quarterback. And again, I think it's tough to see what happened to those kids and losing eligibility, and you don't get those years back and those memories and everything. And somebody's going to have to pay for that. Somebody should pay for that.
Absolutely.
But it's not anywhere near the scandal that it was this time a year ago, where everybody was, again, out to get the sports books. The sports books had nothing to do with this. And I mentioned that in that tweet to you, Dave, where they're talking about non-regulated industry. There's regulations galore. It's just they don't have anybody sitting there going through a list of names. This guy's a defensive back at Iowa, or this guy's a quarterback at Iowa State. So, yeah, it's not done yet, but I think the worst is over, and most people have an understanding that this isn't a sports book problem. It's a law enforcement problem, because somebody did something that they shouldn't have done.
Give folks the information that want to listen to your show. How can they do so? How can they watch and listen and follow you along?
You can follow me on X at Todd Brommelkamp. You can listen in online, kgymradio.com. It's 1600 ESPN here in Cedar Rapids. Don't listen next week because I'm going on vacation, but August 5th, I'll be back and ready for a football media day. Football media day in Iowa City is coming up on August 9th. Nice. And we'll find out whether Tim Lester can turn that Iowa offense around this year or not.
Interesting. Mark us down. Cy-Hawk game, Iowa State. You're back on the show. Can't wait to talk some football with you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. That is Todd Brommelkamp, KGYM in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, joining us. We always love to catch up with him, talking some football, talking some Iowa sports with him here on BVB. Good stuff with that. Iowa football. I'll put it back up real fast because we can get into it later. But what do you make of that schedule? Iowa State's a monster, right? At home. Can't lose that. Got to win that. Iowa normally beats Iowa State at home, but then roadies back-to-back: Minnesota, Ohio State, Washington, Michigan State. That is a 3 out of 4 game on the road with Washington at home in between. That's the season, Dave, in my opinion, right there.
Did they go 4-0 into the Ohio State game?
They better beat Minnesota on the road, but that's hard, right?
That's right. Okay.
That's for the pig. That's Floyd to Rosedale. That's the pig game.
That early? Isn't that usually late?
Well, everything's screwed up now. I mean, I'm shocked Nebraska is still the last game of the year.
Right.
They still have that, but everything else is. But yeah, Floyd is there.
Lose to Ohio State.
Yep.
I mean, the whole season hinges on that Washington game, right? Because if they win that game, they're 5-1, 6-1. They go to Michigan State. They can beat Northwestern at home, 7-1.
Wisconsin,
they're home against Wisconsin. They can actually win that game and be 8-1. Go to UCLA, who looks like they might be in complete rebuild.
Might be lost.
9-1. I have no idea what to make of Maryland. Goodness
that
gracious,
should be a win.
Can they be 10-1 going to the Nebraska game?
That's what everybody is saying. That's the theory at the moment of like, shh, don't talk about Iowa.
So they can make the playoff.
They can make the playoffs 100%.
Because if they go, if they go that and then get to the Big Ten title game,
they won't get there though. But if they're not there,
what do you mean?
It could
10-1 won't make the runner up in the Big Ten title game.
I don't know. I think it may be undefeated versus undefeated. There's 18 teams, Dave. 18 teams. Like you may lose. Ohio State might be 10-1. You lose a tiebreaker, and Ohio State gets in over you. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fine.
So, like, my point is, they could be a 10, 11,
more than
one
team's going to go undefeated. How are they going to do the Big Ten title game? It's only Big Ten play, right?
Top 2.
Yeah. But it's
Big
only
Ten
Big
play,
Ten
top
play.
2. Right? Yes, top 2. Top 2 teams in the conference.
You think 2 teams will go undefeated in the Big Ten?
Yeah, possible. Sure. Oregon. I mean, yeah, it's possible. Oh, wow. I mean, Iowa could run the table and go undefeated in the Big Ten. I mean, beating Ohio State would be a stunner, but let's see what Ryan Day's got going on. Parents will lose 3 of those because they'll only score 6 points.
Fair enough, football guy 97. He's not lying. Like, that's going to be a problem.
Yes, but Iowa and Rutgers got generous schedules. Yes, but Iowa's schedule is really fortuitous. Don't play Michigan. Don't play Penn State. Like, that's huge.
Man, that Iowa Penn State game was like forever an under bet. Couldn't make the number low enough. What's that?
Oh, wait. Dylan Cease is 2 outs from a no-hitter? Wow.
What?
Look at that. Dylan Cease, 2 outs for a no-hitter. Thanks,
crap.
Dave Daily Pick.
Thank you, Dave's Daily Picks. Quick update for those of you
watching. You're watching no-hitter. But I think there's a legit shot. I mean, I think Iowa's a team that you have to take a look at as a long shot option to make the playoffs. I think it's not a bad bet at all to come in and bet that. I think it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. But if I'm a Hawkeye fan, I'm psyched for this year. I like the schedule. McNamara's got to stay healthy. Yeah, that kid has got to stay healthy. He stays healthy, they got a shot.
I'm just trying to find this game. I love the no-hitters.
Oh, nice. Brommelkamp, yes. Ohio State versus Oregon is going to be a great game. Without a doubt, J-Dow bets. Without a doubt. But the loser of that game can still make the playoffs. That's the thing. That could be a rematch. Like Ohio State runs the table. Oregon goes 11-1. They play in the Big Ten title game.
How are they gonna be able to?
He got it. No hitter. He got it. Done deal. He got it. Cease got it. No hitter. Officially a no hitter for Dylan Cease. How about that?
That is fantastic.
That's the first one in a while. You guys got to tell us ahead of time so I can try to jinx it ahead of time. That's always fun to do. You say no hitter with 2 outs to go. I would have said it with 6 outs to go, or 8 outs to go, or 10 outs to go. We would have kept on rolling with that.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So can give the kids something else to vote on here.
Okay. 71% like the Summer Olympics as expected.
How many teams from the Big Ten make the college football playoffs?
Well, that's not a poll.
Well, no, it's 1, 2, or 3.
Why?
I want to see.
You can't have 4?
There's only 12 teams in.
Yeah.
They're not going to give the Big Ten 4 teams.
Why not?
The champ and 1 more, or the champ and 2 more.
Yeah.
There's no way. Are you aware? You're the SEC guy. They're going to give 4 teams in the Big Ten.
Could be 4 and 4. There's 8, 4 and 4. There's 8, and then there's 4 from other conferences.
Wrong.
Why not?
There ain't no way. I don't even think people are going to vote 3. That's why I say 1.
How many teams do you think from the ACC get in?
One?
Correct.
I
How many teams
hope.
from the Big 12 get in?
Maybe two?
Maybe, most likely one. How many teams are going to get in from a Power 5 conference, non-Power 5 conference, a group of 5? How many get in?
Well, I think this is the year they might let 2 or 3 of them in.
Maybe. I still say one. There's 3, okay? You can have 4 and 4 from the SEC and the Big 10. It's not crazy. I'm telling you. This is going to be the Big 10 and SEC Invitational. That's what this thing is. Okay? There is no Pac-12. Remember, there is no Pac-12 anymore.
They didn't let them in anyway unless they were undefeated.
Yeah, but they were getting 1 or 2. They get 1 or 2, like Washington, Oregon. 4 is possible. You can get 4 teams in from one conference. There's no debate in my mind. That's possible.
4 teams from the SEC, yes.
And 4 teams from the Big 10.
Other conference, no.
Not disagree with you. 4 teams from the Big 10.
Give them something to vote on. I think it's 1, 2, or 3. If you think it's 4, write it in.
I think
they're going to vote. I think the vote is 2.
Where are they coming from then? You know, where are they coming from? You have to have a 12-team breakout. Where are they coming from? The Mountain West? Like, where the hell are they coming from?
An undefeated team in the Mountain West can't go.
See, this is very possible. 4 Big 10, 4 SEC, 1 Big 12, 2 ACC, 1 non-power.
1 non-power. That's it.
Yeah, they have to have 1. Yeah, they got to have.
I know there's only 1.
They'll get sued otherwise. Well, from who? What conference? Who's going to be Syracuse in the ACC? Come on.
See,
don't ever count out the Cougars and the Beavs.
There you go.
No, I'm counting them out. Oregon State out. Washington State out. They're not making it. Okay. Notre Dame absolutely could get in. It's very, very possible. But yes, this is Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa. Yes.
Wow.
You got to remember, yes, there's Big 10 anti-bias.
No,
I get all of that. Well, Michigan's going to have a tough run of it. I mean, new coach, new quarterback. That's a rebuild year for Michigan. They got the national championship. Like, it's, I don't think Michigan's not just going to kind of retool and keep going. If Michigan beats Ohio State this year, Ryan Day's gone. Like, that's it. He's fired. Like, goodbye. End of his career.
You and his firing everybody.
What do you mean? You can't lose 4 games in a row to Michigan and to the new head coach. You can lose to Harbaugh and he left. You cannot lose 4 in a row. Goodbye. See you later. Fired. Ain't happening.
He could lose to them and win a national championship.
No.
They're not firing him if he wins a national championship if he loses to Michigan.
Okay. Just telling you that they care about one game. They are sick and tired of getting their teeth kicked down their throat by Michigan.
If Coastal Carolina Chanticleers run the table, can they get in?
No.
They won't let them in?
Schedule, no way. Schedule's not going to be anywhere near good enough. Anywhere near good enough. You're going to have a much better schedule for that to happen.
Wow. So you think
I mean,
4? I voted 3, but what do I know?
I mean, the highest, like last year, highest non-power 4-5 team that was ranked in the final preseason poll was, oh my gosh, Louisville at 19. No, that's ACC. That's power. Sorry. No. SMU. Nope. Where? Liberty, 25. 13-1 Liberty was the highest ranked final team last year.
They can't let 3 Big 12 teams in now?
By the way, see? Goodbye.
Ron Sean, as a Wolverine fan, I agree with you, Matt, expecting not a good season.
So,
jeez.
I think it's going to be a tough one for them. And I don't know. Ohio State runs away with the Big 10 this year. It hurts to say it. I don't know. I'm higher on Penn State than you guys are. I mean, I think Drew's got something. Let's see what this kid can do now. Let him go, Franklin. Throw the ball. You can run the ball and play defense, but throw the damn ball. Let's see what happens.
Like that just happens. Like they just change everything they've been doing and just happens. Okay.
No, I'm just saying they have been way too conservative with him because they're afraid of him. They're afraid of the interceptions he may throw. But you've had massive skill players. I mean, you guys have had first and second round talented wideouts, and you haven't used them the way you should have. Like, you just haven't thrown the ball enough. So, let's see what happens this year where there's a lot of hype, a lot of excitement. You've lost a bunch on the defense, so maybe you got to play more offense. You got to throw the ball more.
I mean, do you want to go to the media days and tell them, or you want me to? Can we get them on the show?
Not mine. It's your team.
James, come on the show, Boston versus the book. I went to Penn State and PSU guy. when I wear the glasses sometimes and I
I'm
clean the
telling you,
head,
though, I am
people are like, Dave, you look
fascinated.
like Franklin a little bit. Yeah.
You telling me that I'm the SEC guy, and I am, but I am fascinated by the 18-team Big Ten schedule. Fascinated. I think this is going to be super cool to watch because there are so many teams that are going to go to places they've never played before in environments in weather that they've never been in before in November and December. Can't wait, because going to the West Coast in December is weird. Like going to UCLA for a Big Ten team, you go to California in December for a bowl game. You don't go there to play football in November. Like you're going to be in November in Cali. Like that's weird. It's going to be 75 degrees and gorgeous. Used to it being, 45 and windy.
Well, they're going to be, they're going to, I was playing UCLA in November.
Yeah.
In the Rose Bowl.
It's
going to be pretty wild. Like, do you think the whole state is going to that game?
Probably. It's their bowl trip. If Iowa's bad, it's their bowl trip.
They'll probably pack that place, right? Iowa at
Oh,
UCLA.
my gosh. Direct flight like crazy. Yes. Allegiant, straight out of Des Moines. Everyone going right to LA. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Penn State plays at USC in October already.
You got to go to that.
But
you got to go to that game.
Yeah.
You got to go to that game. You got to figure that out. Tonight game?
5 o'clock start, I think.
That's perfect for you. Proxy service in the morning. Get on Jet Suite X is your best friend.
Oh.
Jet Suite X. That's your friend. Walk up, no security, walk right on, get on the plane, right over, go to the game, zoop, right back. Best kept
I'd have
secret.
to have you explain this to the wife.
Jet Suite X is the best secret in Vegas for flights to LA. Shouldn't be telling everybody, but it's the best. It's semi.
Nobody watches the show anyway. That's what they keep telling
It's
us.
semi-private flights, and it goes right to LA, and it comes back same day.
Zip it.
It's beautiful. No security. It's very light. You walk
Zip
through,
it.
put your bags right on the plane.
What are you doing? I mean, unless
beautiful.
Jet Suite X, we can put that right
That's
there.
what I mean.
Our
Jet Suite X. Come on in.
Jet Suite X.
They have their own terminal in Vegas. They have their own terminal that's not at the airport. Okay, it's their own terminal. You drive up, you walk in. I love it. It's unbelievable. To fly to LA, it's the best way to travel to LA.
Now we're talking.
So
come on in, Jet Suite X.
So you can do it. All right, what happened last night? Garrett Cole got smacked. The Yankees lost 12-3 to the Mets. They go 0-4 this year against the New York Mets. The New York Yankees are what? Describe the New York Yankees. They're 11-23 over their last 34 games.
They're 11-23 over a month. Sorry, Will. It's been a couple days. They're a fucking mess. How about that?
Mike Francesa called them circus clowns.
Oh. Mike still got it.
Francesa called them circus clowns.
Trying to get Francesa on the show through our friend, mutual friend.
Let's go.
I explained to him in Pittsburgh about how these two guys did the show, and that's how you wanted to get into radio. I said it's a full circle thing.
I've already told Chris. I haven't told Mike before. I've interviewed Chris and met Chris. I know Chris probably, I don't know, for 20 years. I've known him probably 5-10 times. I've never met Mike. And Francesa is, they call him the Pope for a reason. Like he's like genuflect, like we owe you, all of you. We owe Mike and the Mad Dog. Anybody in this business doing sports radio, sports talk, sports content owes Mike a ton of thanks.
Yeah,
so yes,
get Mike on, but that's I don't know. There's a lot of questions, not just in the lineup, not just in the pitching rotation, not just in the dugout, not just upstairs in the front office. There's questions everywhere. And I don't know, expectations got so high prior to the season. Then they started great and it just got higher. People were punching their ticket to the ALCS like it was done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're going to win the division. They're going to have, set up the rotation. Cole will be fine. He'll be back, blah, 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 blah. Did you see that video that I posted yesterday at all by any chance? That the fights after the game, Mets fans and Yankee fans?
Bad.
Oh, it was terrible. It was ridiculous. Like if you're going to a sporting event and you get in a fight, you really have an issue. Like there's no reason to fight over a baseball game where no one on that field really cares what is going. Like Stop. Just go to the game and enjoy yourself. And your team loses, so what? You go home. Let them go. But I don't know, man. I mean, this is the Met City Connect. Like the story from the game in a week is the Mets, not the Yankees. They're not going away. I don't think they're going away. I think they're going to make noise in this National League.
Lindor is a Yankee killer.
Oh,
kills the Yankees.
One of my favorite players of all time.
I mean, Garrett Cole just 6 runs given up last night. Even Garrett Cole, you thought that we talked about yesterday. There was a cheap price on the Mets given what had gone on, and Cole got hammered. Looked awful.
The Yankees are good enough to make the playoffs. I don't think they're good enough to win the World Series.
They may not be good enough to make the playoffs, Dave. The way this is going
might be a problem.
They may not be good enough. I mean, they got people chasing on their heels. Like, they can't just go, yeah, we got 58 wins at the break. We're fine. Like, you got to keep winning. Like, you got to get to 100 wins probably to guarantee yourself into the playoffs.
90.
I don't know.
90. I think 90 gets them in the American League. Just in, not win a division.
All right, third wild card, 90?
I think in the American League.
Whew.
I think it's going to take that. But I'm not, I mean, fill in the blank. I don't know what they are. Francesca nailed it with Circus Clowns. That's
bad.
That's bad
for the Yankees right now. Speaking of bad, the Red Sox gave up 20 runs yesterday to the Rockies. The Rockies. But they went over their team total. They lost 20-7. So they got there for me. So I was okay.
They did get a touchdown and an extra point. I saw that score and I'm like, that's a football score. It's almost
20-7.
20-7.
Got wrecked. Red Sox pitching got ruined yesterday by the Rockies. They didn't play well. They had not. Red Sox are fumbling on this road trip. This is a really bad sign. But they signed Alex Cora to a 3-year extension yesterday, so that was good to see that the Red Sox finally did that. Give them some stability, knowing that Cora is going to be there with these young players, and we'll see what happens coming up here. Wow, Yankee number is 95.5 offshore. Okay,
right. Yeah, that's
always right when the world of the Yankees are losing historically. I agree, Russ. Yes, you're right. 100%.
Big weekend, Yankees Red Sox this weekend.
It is. Sox need to get back on track. Speaking of good series though, this week, D-backs have won 8 of 11. They're now a half a game out of the playoffs. And tomorrow, Pirates have won 8 of 10. It's a good series tomorrow. Arizona against Pittsburgh.
Was making arrangements. It's such a busy weekend for us because up and down, to Reno and Sparks, whatever, Friday.
Yep.
I wanted to go to Arizona to see the Buccos in person.
Ooh, okay.
And it's not that far, but you know what's going on. It'll be my favorite thing about today, but really for tomorrow, because, we got a big weekend here at the house and a lot of things happening. So going to a baseball game may or may not be in the future, but this is a big weekend. Like, they took 2 or 3 from the Phillies after the break. They took 2 or 3 from the Cardinals. They're going to Arizona to take 2 or 3 from them, and then they're going to Houston. And it's Skeens Day on Monday, the way it maps out. Supposed to be Sunday, but they're extending this out. They're keeping it with a 6-man rotation because they're getting the production from the back of the rotation to allow that to continue to happen. So, yes, the way it sets up, Arizona's probably going to win 2 of 3. I didn't say that out loud.
We'll see. Should be a good series. Starts tomorrow in Pittsburgh. It should be fun to see how that all works out. But D-backs are hot.
20-second timeout real quick. I want to wish Hennessy's in Long Beach. We're going to come out there and do a show. They're all watching. They put us up on the screens.
Hi, guys.
It's their 39-year anniversary.
Wow.
So they've been open 39 years today. Yes.
Let's go.
So the bar has us all lined up on the TVs. I just got it from Gio to WAP.
Nice job.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the show. Tell somebody at the bar there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you all.
Industry news.
Yes.
Earnings and More newsletter. A guy we used to work with writes this newsletter. He is reporting that there are some big problems at Penn Gaming and ESPN Bet. Ex-Penn employees are citing a lack of faith in quality of product for ESPN Bet, meaning they have a product that's not as good as the leaders and that they have not replaced some high-level executives that are needed for ESPN Bet to take the next step. The theory is they're not replacing those people because Penn is for sale. But there's been some very big concerns and very big issues going on. If you remember, there was a vote of no confidence that came down to the CEO, Snowden, of Penn Gaming because of the way they were spending. Earnings and More is reporting that the CEO spent $100,000 to repaint his private plane because he didn't like the color of it. Spent 100 dimes to repaint his private jet because of the hue. The color was a bit off. So he said, repaint the whole thing. They're a publicly traded company. That's not his money.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because, you know, if you have a plane, you know, it's very important that it's the color that you want.
Really?
Right?
Really?
Oh, well, I mean, of course, but like the guy watching the money, he makes 60 grand a year for the betting stuff. Like you spend 100 dimes because the plane was the wrong color. It still works. You could still call the pilot. I got a meeting here. I got to go there. However you use those things. I don't want to own a private plane. I would love to have access to a guy who flies them or has one and say, hey, let's go play golf here. Let's go do this meeting here. Whatever we got to, let's go watch this game here. And just go. The thought of having a private plane is fine. I don't want the expenses with it. But I certainly wouldn't care what color it was.
White, blue, black. I don't care.
Like what color? How off could have been the color if you said, listen, man, paint my plane blue. It was the wrong blue. Like, okay, so what? That's a lot.
I can't wait to see how this all plays out because if you read the Earnings and More newsletter, there's a lot of really interesting points about the fact that this is the make or break season for ESPN Bet. And if they hit 2025 and they are still behind all the other leaders in the industry, that there
it's
are
not
people.
If, it's when.
I'll say if, because that's the point. Okay. But if they don't fix it, and you're speaking the language of the industry is saying not when, but not if, but when, that they will have a gigantic problem on their hands with ESPN Bet.
I would argue that they already do. We talked about this when they said they were doing it.
Yeah.
And it's probably a reason why we might have got excommunicated from doing some stuff with some people because we speak the truth on the show. We looked at it. You asked me, we asked a couple people within the industry that write about it. They came on the show and talked about it and said they got an uphill battle. They put out, the problem is when they put out expectations.
25%. They thought they'd have 25% of the market share. We were like, wait, what?
You can't have
from who? Who are you taking it from?
You're starting at the race is already halfway run.
Yeah.
And you're starting at the starting blocks and they got more money. So you're already having to overcome that. Then the software is inferior. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's 100% an inferior product. So now, not only are you messing it up taking the bets, but you spent too much to get to this point. I don't think they're going to ever get more than 10% of market share. That's a realistic number. If they'd have told everybody in year one, let's get 10. And in year two, let's get 13. Still, people would have believed you, and people in the business would have said it's wrong too. And they're going to get there. But at least it wouldn't have been so far off.
Right.
Because 4% is a long way from 20. And they're at 4.
Yeah, so we'll watch that. The NBA has rejected TNT and Warner Brothers bid to retain the rights to the game, to NBA games. We don't know why, because the tweet that came out from Warner Brothers last night was that they believe the NBA is grossly misinterpreting the contract because they had a right to match what Amazon was going to pay, and they matched it. They said, we'll match it. And the NBA said, thanks, but no thanks. We're going with Amazon. This is going to be wild because TNT and Warner Brothers, they have a whole year left. They have a whole season left. So they might be broadcasting NBA games while they're suing the NBA. That's going to be making for a very fun relationship.
Charles Barkley,
one more year.
Chuck, and Kenny with Ernie as a lame duck broadcast.
Yeah, look out.
I mean, we get loose here on the show.
But they're going to get loose. They're going to say the quiet parts out loud.
It's already must-watch television. That was one of my favorite things to watch, especially when I was at work and stuck at work with the basketball. Absolutely love that show. Love it. Still love it to this day. That's going to be must-watch television.
It's just weird that there's going to be lawyers, a lot of lawyers.
Oh, that's not going to be.
This is not going to be quiet. Like Warner Brothers, like, wait a minute, we matched it. NBA said, sorry, nah, we're going with Amazon. Uh-oh. Watch that. Because
in those situations, do they have to take the match?
According to Warner Brothers' interpretation, yes.
Oh.
What Warner Brothers is saying, our contract states if we match it, we retain it. Well, we matched it. And they're saying, no, we want to go to Amazon. So we're going to Amazon. Sue us. We're leaving.
So they go to Amazon because of the streaming stuff, right?
Who knows? They want everything. They want, I mean, Amazon's got more money than Warner Brothers does. Amazon has more distribution than Warner Brothers does in a way. They didn't like the Max relationship. They like Amazon Prime and Amazon Video and all that stuff that goes on to Amazon. So that's why they want to go. I'm sure there's other back end type deals and more potential money to be made with Amazon than Warner Brothers. But without Warner Brothers, there is no Ernie, there is no Chuck, there's no Kenny, there's nothing. Yes, billable hours always the winner, 100%.
Always.
Yes, always going to be the winner. One quick story that I just thought was interesting to kind of point out because it involves us here in Vegas. If you guys fly Southwest is going to be offering seat assignments for the first time, and they're going to fly red eyes, Dave, including one from Vegas to Baltimore. So JDI bets you can come in here and fly back on Southwest on a red eye from Vegas to Maryland, Baltimore. First time in the 39-year history of Southwest. I got to admit, Dave, I put this on the rundown because it's my single biggest pet peeve ever.
What?
I hate the way that the way that Southwest does their seating assignments. It's nonstop anxiety. It's nonstop people bickering, looking at each other, looking at your phone. What number are you? What number are you? Well, I'm 54. Well, I'm 56. Well, I'm 54. So I'm in front of you. Really?
Yeah. Right there. Froze. See? You're for 54. He is 56. You froze like that. People will still line up at the gates.
Well, they will, Sonic, because it's not everyone. They're going to offer it. Not everyone will have assigned seats, but they're going to start to offer assigned seats.
I said, it's getting harder and harder to board a plane, even when you have seats. I want a zone 1. I want a zone 2. I'm a zone 3. What the hell's going on? When I was little, they said, back of the plane, get on first. Rows 20 to 30, get up here. You're getting on a plane.
Right.
Then rows 10 to 19, get on the plane. The people that sat up front got on last. Everybody had space. It was fine. They used to smoke on the planes. That's how long ago it was. Like, what the hell's going on?
You're right. You can do the A1 to A25 thing, but you're still fighting for seats. You're still, if you have a certain seat you want, you still got to go ahead and do that. So charging with the peons, Addison. But it's going to be, that's what it's basically going to be. It's going to basically be a first class section in Southwest. You're going to have seats in the front, guaranteed. You're going to purchase with more seats.
People will pay for that.
100%. 100% people are going to pay for that.
Pay for that. Like, I just flew back and forth from Pittsburgh on Spirit, and it was fine. Like, I had a seat. I bought a seat. I paid a little extra for the seat because it's a long flight.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be comfortable. But like the Southwest procedure, a lot of the reason why they had to do this was because it was being abused by people with the wheelchairs and the early boarding and all this other stuff. They would be wheeled up to the gate in a wheelchair, put on the plane, and then run off like Usain Bolt. Like they didn't need the wheelchair. I mean, it was painfully obvious. So when people pull moves and figure out a way to game the system, they have to change the system. And I don't know. I mean, we liked flying it because listen, I got all girls in this house. You know how many bags we got?
Oh.
I mean, the bag fees charged like we have what I call a product suitcase when we go away for a week.
Right.
It's
all their products.
It's just hair and stuff. And, they maybe stuff a pair of shoes in there each, but like it's an extra bag. So my concern with this is that a bag still fly free.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's not cheating. Flew on Spirit. Dave is a true gambler. We're flying Spirit tomorrow, guys. So cross your fingers. We got on the first flight. Hopefully, if we get delayed, we don't have that big of a problem. We start getting pushed back.
That's the reason why I booked.
100%. We get delayed 2-3 times. We're all good. Like, it's not going to be that big of a deal if the flight gets delayed out of Vegas to Reno, but it's an early flight.
We're good.
Yeah.
Thoughts. We're
not a fan. We'll see. It's a day flight, thankfully.
Who in the hell's going to be on that flight?
That's a good point.
We may have the plane to ourselves.
There's not many. You're right. There's not many. There were a lot of open seats when we were picking our seats. Circa Sports Pro Football Team of the Day. We are going to be there tomorrow. Sparks, Nevada. We'll be there with Circa Sports live show. Legends Bay Casino, Sparks, Nevada. 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern time start for our show tomorrow from Legends Bay, Circa Sports location in Sparks, Nevada for us here. If you guys are unfamiliar with why we're going up there, you guys can sign up for the contest with us coming up here tomorrow. If you're in Northern California, if you're in Southern Oregon, if you're in Idaho, you want to jump on over to where we're going to be. We are signing up for $16 million in guaranteed prizes, $6 million for Circa Million, $10 million for Circa Survivor, 5 games against the spread, 1 game, 1 winner in Survivor to advance. For more information, you can go to circasports.com. And remember, those room rates are still available for Nevada, Las Vegas for Circa. 25% discount for 1 night at Circa the D or the Golden Gate, all the way up to a 3-night comp stay at Circa when you get the full house, which is $5 million and 10 survivors coming up this football season. Our Circa Sports Pro Football Team of the Day, the New York Jets. Win total is 9.5, Dave. Over.
We're on the Jets already. I thought this would be a little bit later. I thought they would be closer to the top than the bottom.
Middle of the pack team. 10 to
are
10
all
to
the
20?
numbers now? We're in the 20s, and the numbers are 9.5. There's no more bad teams.
Oh no, there are. It's all over the place. It's what Eric Edholm of NFL Network ranked the teams coming out of the draft. This was his post-draft rankings.
Okay, so not every team lower than the Jets is got 9.5 wins or better. There's still some 8.5s or 7.5.
Sure, of course.
Right?
Okay, potentially from the book perspective. This is where he puts the Jets.
Okay.
They got questions. Is this team a Super Bowl contender in your mind?
Is this a serious question?
Of course. Answer yes or no. No?
The Jets?
I don't know. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, why not? Why can't they be a contender?
Contender meaning did they get to the playoffs? Yes.
Okay. If you're in the tournament, you're a contender for
I don't know if they make the playoffs.
Okay.
And we'll go through the schedule, but I mean, this is Jets fans are already, kind of advancing the ball.
This is
not
an easy schedule. Okay.
That's what I don't think it is either.
They open up at San Francisco on the road, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, they're losing that game.
Agreed. At Tennessee.
They should win that game.
Home opener against the Patriots.
All right, 2-1.
Second game against Denver.
3-1.
International game against Minnesota.
They should win that game. No,
should. I think they could lose it. I think they're 3-2. Week 6, home for Buffalo. Huge game. Monday Night Football. Huge game.
Let's see here. What was the line on that game? Jets are
dogs.
6-point dogs in San Francisco, 4-point favorites in Tennessee, 7.5 against the Patriots, 7.5 against Denver. At Minnesota, 4-point favorites. They're favored against the Bills.
Are they really?
1.5, yeah.
Oh, give me the Buffalo Bills plus 1.5. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think the Bills win that game. Short week to Pittsburgh.
Thursday night game?
Sunday night game.
Oh.
Monday night, Sunday night.
Wow.
Double
Jets
L.
at Pittsburgh.
Loss.
Robbie, if you're still watching the show, can we come out for that one?
Sunday Night Football.
Night game. We'll do the
Yeah.
show there Monday.
Ooh.
All right. Wrap it around. Wow, we could get a lot of people down for that one.
Yes, we could.
The Jets are favored on the road at Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah.
1.5.
Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Come
home.
on, bro.
Give it to me. Patriots on the road. They can lose that game.
Now that might determine the whole damn thing for the season wins.
Then
That
home
silly game.
home for Houston. Tough game.
Jets are 2.5-point favorites.
At Arizona. Tougher game than normal. Arizona always beats someone they're not supposed to.
3-point favorites there. Wow.
Colts at home. They should win that game.
4.5 favorite. Wow.
They should win that game.
1, 2, 3. So what is that? 1, 2,
I have
3,
4
5,
losses.
6, 7.
I have 8-4 at the break.
So then they get the bye.
Bye week after that.
Then what?
And then we come down to Seattle at home. Double road game to Florida. Miami, Jacksonville.
Seattle at home. They should win. That's a 5.5-point spread.
They're lucky to
At
get Miami
Miami.
and Jacksonville in December. That's a huge break. Rams at home. And then at Buffalo on December 29th. Good luck. And then Miami at home on January 5th.
10. Wow. It's 10-6 or 9-7, is it not?
Yeah. I can see 10
Legit.
games.
Like if he plays the whole season.
If Rodgers stays healthy, they should win 10 games. I would bet over.
But that schedule, the ceiling is 11, right? There's one. I
Potentially.
mean,
Yeah.
they ain't winning 12 games. They
I don't
can't.
think
That's
so.
12 and
But I
5.
mean, it all comes down to Aaron, right? It all comes down to how they do it. You know, it depends on if he's healthy or not. If he's healthy, he can throw. Oh, Punch Drunk's going to the Jets game. Jets at Steelers. There we go.
I got to get Punch Drunk's hats in the mail. I forgot about that. I got so much running around to do, and I should have brought them to Pittsburgh and just dropped them off. Who's the backup quarterback for the Jets?
Ooh,
I don't even know because
I know, but I'm
Zach went
forgetting.
to Denver.
I think it's what's his name? I know this, but I'm forgetting.
Put it in the chat if you know it.
No, I know it's real fast. The backup quarterback is Tyrod Taylor, right? And Jordan Travis. They drafted Jordan Travis to be the long-term replacement for Rodgers.
I'm actually okay with Tyrod being a backup for a game or two. if
Oh
he
yeah,
has
he's played well.
right?
Huh? Yep. Yeah, I like Jordan Travis.
I
He's
don't
a lot-
know. I initially thought under, but that feels like 10 wins
Over.
to me.
I'm with you. I'm on the over for the Jets as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. Because if he doesn't stay healthy,
Oh, it's all out the window if he don't play.
yeah, if he's hurt. And the offensive line, they've made some improvements in the offensive line. So they've added some talent, some rookies to come in. They've made some, Tyron Smith coming over from the Cowboys. We'll see what he looks like as a left tackle spot. See how much he has left in the tank.
Holy crap. Nathan Phillips just came in the chat and said the USA Today picked the Jets to win the Super Bowl.
Yes. It's
Win the
Jets
Super Bowl?
Jets Packers. They picked Jets versus the Packers.
What a story that would be, wouldn't it?
Oh, in New Orleans. My God. In a dome.
Nonstop. That would be nonstop for 2 weeks. All the stories, the back and forth. Oh my God.
I'd be so cheering for the Packers. You have no idea.
Hopefully we're going to be at the Super Bowl. We'll see.
I mean, hopefully. There's no hopefully.
Rolling the dice on everything right now. What do you mean?
We're going to be at the Super Bowl. What are you
I
talking
hope.
Get that just because you can't be talking. I'm doing midstream for that. Brigade Proxy Service Pro Football Story of the Day. It's going to be interesting. And someone just asked this question. You guys can text us, by the way, 702-570-8255. If you're coming tomorrow to the show, let us know so we can set you up, get you all, we're going to be there probably around like 11 or so. We're going to get off the plane, hop in a car, go to Lake Tahoe for a little bit, and then come back and get all set up and good to go for the show at 2:30. So if you guys are coming in, make sure you tell us so we can meet you at the Legends Bay Casino for the Circus Sports location, 702-570-8255. As always, the website is thebvbshow.com. This person, someone in the chat asked, where's the hate? Why the hate for the Colts? Well, the Colts said yesterday, Shane Steichen, they're not going to stop Anthony Richardson from running the football. They're completely comfortable with him running around.
Why would they? That's what he does.
He gets hurt when he runs.
I understand, but when you tell a guy to not do what he does and he's not ready to just completely change, it leads to bad things anyway. So just do what you do,
Right.
but get down.
A lot. Learn how to slide.
You got to get down.
I mean,
Didn't work
Tyrod.
for RG3. I remember when RG3 came up. Remember how good RG3 was?
Yep.
Washington. And then a turf was bad and hurt his knee, and it was never the same. Like, it's hard to tie the whole future to that.
Do you believe it? Roger Long, Indiana guy. Colts aren't getting much out of him. They'll turn into Flacco throwing deep.
Like D Flacco?
He's the backup.
Joe Flacco?
Yeah. Right?
In a Colts uni? That's going to be great. Wow.
Veteran backup. Yeah. Flacco. Sam Ellinger's on the team too. Kid in Slovich. They drafted the kid out of USC.
Oh, man. Now I'm starting to worry about that season win total.
For the Colts, under or over?
Under.
Oh.
Got to be an under.
Well, yeah. I told you we did the Colts yesterday. I like the Colts under.
I know, but I was leaning over. But I didn't know if it was – I thought it was another young guy. Oh, my.
No, I can't wait to see what happens here for Richardson because Anthony Richardson has a killer arm. He played well, but he got hurt early, and then he got the shoulder banged, and he was gone. That was it.
Right.
Popped the shoulder out, so that was it. So he had surgery, but running quarterbacks are scary. I mean, let's just be honest. When you have a running quarterback who wants to run around, it's dangerous. Thomas, you love the Colts. Division winner, NFL future. I don't know.
Thomas Penchley.
I don't know, Thomas. You're all in on this.
Winner, favorite NFL future. Wow. Okay, Tom.
I don't know. I mean, the Texans are still going to be.
Tom, if they win a division, you're on the show.
Okay.
All right, Tom, you got to reach out to us, send an email. If they win a division, don't forget, you remember, because I have no idea what I'm going to remember anything in December that I said now. So we're going to put it on you. Colts win. Thomas, you're on the show.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see too, like, what does Jacksonville have in the tank? Like, what are the Jaguars? Because that's a huge question mark to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with you, Ella. According to everyone, right in Houston to the Super Bowl. I'm not there, okay? I'm not with you. Although they would empty out Houston to go to New Orleans if they're playing in the Super Bowl. Like the entire city.
Like a home game, my gosh.
Yeah, the whole city would be there. I mean, it's just close proximity. So, I don't know. New Orleans is like a 3-hour drive from Houston. It would be ridiculous. But I am very curious. Just how do the Texans handle all the hype? How do they handle all the attention? So I don't mind someone saying, hey, they're going to fall on their face because sophomore slump, CJ Stroud is an absolute probability question, right? Second year guys. And the inverse comes from Carolina, who we already talked about. But the inverse is Bryce Young having a great second year, having a horrible first year, and a tremendous second year. And then it flips where CJ Stroud had a great freshman year or first year, and then really struggles in his second season. I can see that happening as well. So I'm very curious to see how the Jaguars, I think they have as big of a say as anybody in that division as to who wins the division.
100%. The Jags can win a division if they play anywhere. They can win a division.
Wow. Okay.
You don't think so?
Jaguars to win the division. What are the odds on that? That's got to be.
It's better. It's lower than the Colts to win a division.
It's got to be.
Right? The Jags got to be the second choice at a lot of books.
Really? You think so?
It has to be Houston, significant favorite.
Yep. Plus 105, plus 270, plus 310. They're all pretty much in the same line. The Titans are the long shot at plus 950.
Titans should be 20-1. I would love to put the Titans up if it was our point. Just let them bet them. Let them. Please. Get Titans money. I haven't looked at AFC South futures.
Okay.
You kind of figured them in your head. So would you say 260 for Jacksonville, 310 for Colts?
Yeah, plus 105, plus 270, plus 310.
So you got to bet. That indicates to me that you got to bet on Houston. And you made them you started them probably a bigger plus 140 somewhere in that neighborhood. Take it down. They're going to end up the minus money favorite by the time the games kick off. Nothing is going to happen now before the season that's going to go
Really?
Oh, I got to bet the Colts. Oh, I got to bet.
What if
the
an injury
Jets.
happens to CJ Stroud?
He ain't touching a field in preseason.
I don't know, training camp. When he just blows his
Oh,
knee
yeah,
out
no.
running.
I mean, listen, somebody just the Rams starting cornerback
just blew his knee out. Yeah, just running routes, running sprints. Like guys get hurt. Oh, we are in injury season. This is when your team makes news in late July. It ain't good.
Not good.
It's never good. When you see that ESPN headline, it's never good for your team. It's always
although I did see video today of Justin Fields dropping a dime on pass.
so now you agree with me. Oh, okay.
What?
That Russell Wilson shouldn't be the starting quarterback.
I've been saying Russell Wilson should be a starting quarterback in the NFL for 3 or 4 years.
But he's on your team now, so now you're all in on Russ.
Reminding me.
You're all in on Russ. He's your quarterback now.
I'm not.
You're all in on Russ. You're like, oh, Russ is the mayor of. He's walking around Pittsburgh. Everybody loves him. Blah blah blah.
I'm saying the people do.
Justin Fields should be your starting quarterback.
I agree, but we'll see.
And your coach won't even commit to Russell being the starting quarterback. I love that too. Mike Tomlin's like, well, I don't know. We'll see. Like,
it's an open competition. Go get him, Justin.
Open. Let Fields start. I agree. Tank Dell over Diggs. I will agree with you, WB Punch, but Tank Dell's got to stay healthy. Right. He's I almost said the wrong word. He's a little person. He's tiny. he's a little guy. Okay. Tank Dell's a little dude, and I love the guy. Zip. He's a water bug. He's fun. But the way he broke his leg last year is really scary. Don't hand the ball off to Tank Dell at the goal line ever again. Yeah, Nico is great. Nico Collins is tremendous. I agree, Thomas. He's great. The wideouts are phenomenal. Texans wideouts are awesome. Like if you're a Texan fan, like you have, and your tight end's good too. I mean, they've got 4 legitimate, really good weapons, and they got a veteran running back. So like their offense is like, you can look at that Texans offense and go, all right. But we've said it so many times, you have to learn how to win. Is DeMeco Ryan a good head coach? I don't know. There's a big spotlight on the Texans. So if I'm the Colts, I love that. But all the pressure.
Coach, I think so.
With second-year coach. This is new. Like, we'll see. I don't know.
We're good.
Stephon Diggs could be wild this year. I can't wait to see what Stephon Diggs does. But is he a cancer there too? Because he was a problem with the Bills. So let's see.
Vic Ferrari. I see you in the chat. He asks a good question. Why does football make people so crazy it can't get here soon enough?
Because it's fun.
Well, it's fun, but it's also once a week.
It's fun.
You get all week to talk and debate. Everybody can be an offensive coordinator. Everybody can be a scouting director.
It's like a fight. It's the
now
same
they
thing.
watch Hard Knocks.
But it's fun. It's a fight. It's a physical act between two sides that we get to break down, analyze, and then watch it happen, and then talk about how right or wrong we were on Monday.
Correct.
Just
and
like
Tuesday,
a fight.
And then look ahead starting on Wednesday to the next Sunday.
Yeah.
And all that other
I'm
stuff.
so happy. Everyone's so happy. We get football. See, Dave and I talked about this before, though, one snap. We love college. And college starts in a month. So we don't have to wait till September. College starts in a month.
Yes.
Like, let's go. I can't wait to watch college. It's going to be tremendous to see. So, I don't know. The Colts, I think Shane Steichen's going to have to find ways to keep his quarterback healthy, because if he gets hurt the whole year, I mean, Flacco coming in, I know he was great with Cleveland, but I don't know. That's how much does Joe Flacco have left in the tank? I don't know.
I was asking that question last year, and apparently it was still something. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to want to see too much of Joe Flacco for Colts fans.
I would agree with that. All right, a couple of baseball games. Giants and the Dodgers tonight. Webb against Kershaw. Kershaw's coming back. What do you expect of the Clayton Kershaw tonight?
I got to do a little reading. I don't know. I didn't know when I saw that. I was like, wait a second. Oh, it just started. Top of the first right now. Giants got him yesterday. Mm-hmm. That was great. I
got him bad. Scored 6 runs in the 8th.
Yeah. I went on everything yesterday, and I wore the Giants stuff for James Jernigan. JJ, he's a big Giants guy. And I was like, every book in the world's going to need the Giants. I said, the Giants got to be the side plus 1.5 tonight. So leaning Giants.
Mm. This is a really weird day because there's not much baseball going on.
No.
Short schedule. Oakland and the Angels, Stripling against Rosenberg. Pretty much a pick'em game. Angels favored slightly.
Is that Adam Rosenberg? What's it? Ken Rosenberg. Who is that? K. I don't know. Pick him. I don't know. What the hell do you like in this game? Over to?
I don't know. I mean, Oakland's been scoring, but like your guy that Kylie likes has been hitting home runs a lot lately.
Oh, Zach is on fire.
He's been hitting home runs lately. So
do you think? So the other alternative, instead of going to Skeens Day, which was going to be Sunday, but apparently is not now,
okay,
is going to Reno, coming home, and taking Kylie to go see Geloff in Anaheim, because I think seats will be available for A's Angels this weekend. We might be able to sit in the dugout
pretty much
and go to the beach and you know, make it a little 2-day jaunt with some baseball in between. I thought, you know what, maybe we're not supposed to go to Arizona. Maybe we're not. And maybe now we're not, because Skeens ain't going to be pitching. But I thought, can we drum up some interest for A's Angels?
No.
Damn it.
You're in Vegas turning 21. What are you doing? Come on now.
I'm still like a little kid. I want to take her to a baseball game.
Come on. Turn 21. She hasn't been able to go anywhere in this town. She has to. You're in the best town in the world to turn 21 in.
I know, but she's like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, just go and take her to places she's never seen before. She'll go, holy shit, this is what Vegas is like when I'm 21. Why didn't you tell me? And we would say, because you weren't 21.
But I mean, in hindsight, she's been everywhere with me.
She's not been everywhere. She hasn't been able to get in everywhere.
She's been able to get in everywhere with me for years. I've taken her to the Cosmo. I've taken her to the Venetian. I've taken her to the back rooms of places. I've walked her to, like, the kids have lived a pretty charmed life. I know a lot of people. Like, let's go this way. Let's go here. The only place they've never got in is Circa, because they get ID.
So you go to Circa, take her to dinner at Barry's, you know, let her go ahead and order whatever she wants off the menu. Like, there's all sorts of, I mean, turning 21 in Vegas is turning 21 in Vegas. Like, I know you're not a club person, nor am I, but like, there's things that she has not gone to, been able to get into, that are available to her now. 21 plus day clubs and stadium swim and all the other things that she can go to now, which she couldn't go to before. Just saying.
True. Kylie, if you're watching the show, P-Rod's booking you whatever you want.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if I turned 21 in Vegas, I would paint the town red. I would go and just have an absolute ball. Yeah. And you can do it with your parents. Like, it's fine. And your friends, or go gamble with her. Go sit down on that blackjack table. Go gamble with her. She hasn't done that before. Go sit down, get a shoe, sit, go to Vegas, go sit down with her and be like, here's whatever you want to give her. Here's $200. Let's go play. You keep what you win. Order what you want, drink what you want. I mean, there's a lot of, like,
we could do that.
That's what I would do. I mean, I've never gambling with my kid. I can't wait to gamble with Madeline. I can't wait to do that. Like, she wants to go to Canada to go. They can gamble at 18 in Canada. She wants to go up there and gamble with me there. Can I gamble at 18? Like, yeah, in Canada. Oh. Or if you go to some places in Europe, you go on cruises. Sometimes like anyone gamble. You can be like 12 years old and gamble on certain cruises.
Yeah, we did that.
You're in international waters.
Before I moved to Curacao, we went on a cruise, and my little brother, Doug, gambled. He wasn't 21, but he sat with me at the table. It was fun.
Yeah, see, there you go. I spent my 21st birthday mostly gambling and signing up for sportsbook apps. There you go. There's
one star, a Vegas native.
Yeah, he knows what it's like. You're in Vegas. You take care of business. So we can go ahead and do that. Short schedule, like we said, for tonight. So a short, better to book. I've already lost one bet today because I should have bet the over again. I bet the over in the first two games of the Orioles and the Marlins, and I thought, let's get cute. Let's bet the under. Nope.
Wow.
13 runs. She just kept on betting the over in that series.
Right. Yeah.
All three games went over. I should have. Yeah, I didn't. But I've gone 1-1 for 3 straight days. So by that pick, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, Braves money line tonight should hit.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, like,
the price is crazy.
The Oakland and the Angels, but this is the game of the night. This is going to be the single focus. somehow Ranieri and I are going to do 2 hours, and I don't know what we're going to talk about. But
on this game,
well, we have Olympics on the rundown.
Olympic what?
I don't know.
Handball started today. Soccer started today.
I love watching that team handball, though.
You do? Oh my!
I love watching it, but not betting on it. I do enjoy it. I like the Braves tonight. I'm
Sale
looking
day.
for a reason to take the Mets after the way they just played against the Yankees.
Easy sell on the Mets tonight for me.
Really?
Braves have lost 3 straight games.
And it's just you're supposed to bet the Mets tonight.
Oh, all right. Well,
You're supposed to.
that's me with baseball. So go.
But I mean, you're 1-1. You already lost, so this one should win.
If-
It's now Mets minus 108.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Dodd. I love the line move there. I like the Braves even more now. Good.
Right.
I like the line move. That's tremendous.
Yeah. All the rhombuses, all the parallelograms are on.
Why?
Mets.
With Chris Sale going? It's Severino. I know Severino's had this. He's been talking about the Mets. The Yankees just 2 teams. I mean, I don't know. When pitchers start talking like that, I'm like, uh-oh, because you might get smacked around.
If you're still here
Yeah.
and watching the show, type your answer. Who do you like in that baseball game tonight?
Ooh.
Braves or Mets? I don't know. I don't know what more people would say. That's a great game.
By the way, the poll result is 40% said 2 teams, 38% said 3 teams. 38% said 3 teams in from the Big Ten.
Oh,
So maybe you're on the road to 4 for the Big Ten to get into the to get in.
I
on
will
that.
be very surprised if 4 get in.
I'll be surprised, but I'll be shocked. Everyone likes the Mets. Good. Everyone's on the Mets. Mets. Oh, you run likes the Braves. There we go.
Sale over K's for 1 snap.
Oh, there we go. Football guy said he bet the Braves too. All right, me and you. Sorry if I lose. Braves, Mets. Everyone's
Braves,
yeah.
Mets. Mets.
Cannot back the ATL ATM.
Wow.
The Braves. What you betting under? What's the ATM machine for the Braves? They're an under team, but they've lost 3 in a row. Time to turn this around. Time to get going with Chris Sale here. I need a W here for the Braves.
Linus said the Metropolitans. I like saying that. Metropolitans.
Goodness gracious. No, thank you. Favorite thing about today is what? The whole show in Sports Grid today.
Whole show on Sports Grid. Only one swear, Will. No bonus time. The fact that we're going to go to Reno. We got the road show. We're waiting to hear about some other things. You guys that have, been with us from the beginning, we appreciate you. To those of you that have joined us in making us a part of your day, it's been awesome. And meeting you in person has been some of the most fun days that I've had in the last 2.5 years.
Right.
We've been doing this show. We've built some great relationships and some business relationships with the proxy service and things like that. So my favorite thing about today is that tomorrow at this time, we will be getting set up to do the show live from another place. Take the show on the road, bro. I love it.
Should be fun. If you guys have not seen, Trista's been on this show before. Trista Crick today, I didn't know she could do that. Like,
I knew.
You knew she could rap like that?
Yeah.
There's
a couple songs that if you're into that, you can do it.
My jaw was on the ground if you've not seen what she did freestyle wise here in Vegas at the studio at the Wynn, that she just ripped off a freestyle that made
that was here?
That was here. That was at the Wynn studio. That was here in Vegas. She was in for Summer League.
Oh.
She was covering Summer League for a different outfit.
Okay.
And she got on mic to go on a podcast that tapes out of there. And she ripped a freestyle that I went like, how?
It's a lot easier to do with the music.
Of course, but you couldn't do that. That's all off the top of her head. That was a freestyle. It wasn't written down. She just ran with that.
Yeah, there's a couple songs I could do that with.
That's Eminem style. That was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, there's songs I could do that with. You need the music. That was great.
I was blown away by that. That was congratulations on her. Hope that goes viral for you because everyone was like, what the was that? Unbelievable. Good job out of her. Guys, tomorrow we will be Sparks, Nevada, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. Will, the show's coming to you late tomorrow. Sorry, we got to go ahead.
I already told him.
Okay, good. We'll get it to you late on that tomorrow. For you guys who are on SiriusXM and Sports Grid, thank you. If you're in the chat, live on Twitter and live on where else we are? Live
YouTube?
Twitter and YouTube. Sorry, thank you. We are out tomorrow. Talk to you. Sparks, Nevada, Circus Sports, BVB, Ultimate Contest Weekend. We're going to a new city, boys and girls. Dave, Matt, talk to you tomorrow for a late version of BVB.